April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Globally, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men experience sexual violence in their lifetime. And according to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, 13% of college students experience sexual assault during their academic careers. Today here on First at 4, we focus in on an event that's happening tomorrow at the University of Michigan Flint. Samara Hough is the director of the Center for Gender and Sexuality at U of M Flint, and she joins us now with more on an event that's known as Take Back the Night Rally. And Samara, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Take Back the Night is an event that actually started in the 1960s. And it continues today.
Yes.
What does this event aim to do when it comes to sexual assault?
Absolutely. Well, I think it's in its name, Taking Back the Night. When we think about survivors who've experienced sexual violence, it may be happening at night. When you think about when it started in the 60s, it was at that time talking about the increased incidents of sexual assaults that were happening, particularly to violence against women. And so now we know that regardless of any gender identity you identify as, unfortunately, sexual violence can impact us. And so this event is really to raise awareness around what is sexual violence and ways in which we can respond and also heal from sexual violence.
And you know, the startling numbers there, 13% of all co-eds, college students will experience some sexual assault during their academic careers. That and a lot of them, a lot of it goes unreported.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So why do you think that victims suffer in silence?
I think there's so many reasons, and particularly because there's kind of a lack of believing survivors. When we think about some of the messaging that often we hear, make sure you watch your drink, make sure you're in groups, make sure you don't do these or that. And when survivors maybe they did that, maybe they did that thing, maybe they had a drink at a party. There's such a fear of that maybe, or shame also that's associated with that maybe I did something wrong to invite this. So I hear survivors that I've worked with that talk about just feeling like just fear and shame around maybe I should not have talked to that person or invited them to that event.
Yeah, victim blaming.
Exactly.
Almost. Yeah. So Take Back the Night, why do you think, in your opinion, Samara, that events like this are still so critical in 2025?
Well, as you mentioned, the statistics are startling. We know that I think it's 1 in 5 college-age women will experience a sexual assault. We know 1 in 4 transgender and non-conforming students may experiencing it, and also men experience sexual violence. And so it's an epidemic that's been happening. And so being able to share that opportunity for survivors to share their stories, to walk in solidarity and find strength and sense of safety together, but then also really emphasize that this is still an issue and that we are able to say to those who are doing these types of issues that there's no more, to cancel that. There's no tolerance for it. So a place for healing and also a place of really recognition of the impacts.
And what resources, in particular, if there are some, for survivors and students there at the University of Michigan Flint campus around this issue of sexual assault and violence? Well,
absolutely. There's many different ways you can connect with our office. We have advocacy there that's confidential, that survivors can access to get support. We have our counseling and psychological services office. In fact, our counseling services will be present at tomorrow's event to be a place to debrief. We also have reporting and great relationships with some of our key partners like the YWCA Greater Flint will also be there, and Voices for Children that works with youth and children, and as well as our law enforcement.
And at tomorrow's rally and event, there's a keynote speaker as well, right?
Absolutely,
yeah,
yes.
So just very quickly, tell us who he is and why he's important to this movement.
Absolutely. So Byron Hurt is known for his documentary films, Beyond Beats and Rhymes, most recently Hazing, where he talks about just kind of harassment and things that have happened in hip hop culture or abuses that have happened, particularly for students who may be in an organization or maybe military culture, different ways in which we've seen violence happen. And so he's going to be speaking about his journey as an educator, anti-violence worker, activist. And so we're just super excited to have him join us on our campus. I've had a pleasure of hearing him some years ago and just he's going to be an amazing event.
Addition to that event, yes. Well, take back the night rally if you'd like to hear the guest speaker rally. Just join in the advocacy around this issue is tomorrow. It's a rally and march, 5 p.m. It starts at the Harding Mott University Center, Kiva. We want to thank Samara Hough for joining us today here on First at 4 and sharing this important information with us.
Thank you.